Foremost, I want to start out by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles for their edification and knowledge. And the Wadi Ba'ashem Yahushai putting the spirit of the elders and apostles on down regarding this truth and knowledge. Call Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, give all praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Let's go to Amos. Actually, let's go to Jeremiah 10 and 2. Jeremiah 10 and 2. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, learn not the ways of the heathen, which are the other nations, and be not dismayed at the signs of the heavens. For the heathen are dismayed at them. So they're going to be dismayed regarding the things that's going to happen. That's going to be happening on the earth. It's the signs and the things that the Lord is beginning to do, man. The Lord is beginning to visit the world which He has made, man. So He's giving the signs of different things coming upon the earth, man, related according to prophecy, man. So be not like the heathen. The heathen are going to be dismayed, but the nation of Israel, His people, they supposed not be dismayed. For the customs of the people are vain. Vain means empty. They're nothing. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with an axe. When that can symbolically talk related to Christmas, that goes back to Nimrod, Tammuz, Samarias, which was his wife and his mother. So they're pretty much another custom, man. So they are vain. These customs are vain that the heathens follow, man. Good example, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, which just passed, which is the day of the devil, Dia Dios, Diablo de Dios, Dias, and the Issachar, they celebrate that heavily. You know what I mean? With the witchcraft and the sorcery, and Halloween, that's the day of the devil, man. So all these customs that the heathen partake in, man, are vain in the eyes of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You know. Let's go to Amos 5:20. Amos 5 and 20. Amos 5 and actually 21. I despise your feast days. So the Lord despises these feast days. A good example of that, Thanksgiving. He despises these feast days and these celebrations, man. These assemblies of these celebrations, man. I hate and despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts, man. All these things are abomination to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and they're defiling. They're defilement, you know. They're defilement regarding, you know, just partaking in these things, man. So the Lord is not going to honor these things because He despises these. The customs of the heathen are vain. They're empty. They're nothing. So because the Lord hates it. Let's go to Jeremiah 7 and 18. Back to Jeremiah 7 and 18. The children gather wood, the father kindle the fire, the woman knead their dough, to make cakes to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings into other gods, that they may provoke me to anger. So they idolatry, man. Worshiping these other gods, making golden images, golden calves, worshiping these other forms of idols, even wood and stone, man. these guys that have no power, man. So to kindle the Yahweh Bashim Yashar, the wrath, the pour out his wrath upon them to execute judgment, man. Go to let's go to let's go to Leviticus 7. Leviticus and 7, Shalakia. Leviticus and 7. Leviticus 7 and 8. And the swine, though he divided the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet he chew not the cud, he is unclean to you. That's the pork, man. That's unclean food, man. That's Leviticus 7. Also, Deuteronomy 14 talks about dietary laws. Certain foods are clean for us to eat, and certain foods are unclean for us to eat. And a good example of that is pork, man. It talks about it also in the Maccabees, Second Maccabees, I believe, a mother and her sons, they refused to eat the pork, and they were persecuted. And Matthias and his sons, they talking about refusing the pagan customs. You know, so many were persecuted for these things, man. So the dietary laws, the pork, unclean, that's a very unclean food, man. You know. There was a video a brother did talking about a guy was cooking alligator, man, barbecuing alligator. These exotic foods, for example. You know, they're all abominations, man. These foods are unclean, man. He cooking it, and when you look at the meat of the alligator, it look like pork, but it's very unclean, man. It's unclean. You know what I mean? So these things are abomination to the Lord, man. Go to Mark 12:27. Mark 12:27. Mark 12:27. He is not the God of the dead, but the God of the living. Ye therefore do greatly err. In the nation of Israel, they greatly erred, man. They greatly erred because they didn't hearken and heed to through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yeshua, through the prophets, to come back and do accordingly, man. For my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I also reject thee. Thou made no priest unto me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I also forget thy children. For my people are sottish, they have not known me. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no understanding. So my people, they lack the knowledge, the wisdom, and understanding. And because of that, they err to their own form of understanding, man. So they err greatly against Yahweh Bashim Yoshua, man. The verses I was reading is 4:6 of Hosea, also Jeremiah 4:22. Because my people are destroyed for what? The lack of knowledge, man. And common sense. Hearkening heed to Yahweh Bashim Yoshua, man. So pretty much the Lord is calling his people stupid, man, because they were ignorant, man. Go to Mark 7:6 and 9. Mark 7:6 and 9. Before I go to there, let me go to Exodus 20 and 4. Exodus 20 and 4. Thou shalt not make into thee any graven images or likeness or anything that's in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. So no worship, no other gods. Not worshiping these graven images, even wood and stone. Idolatry, man. And that's what got the nation of Israel exiled out of their land, spread out all four corners of the diaspora, the world, pushed to West Africa. From West Africa, they've been spread out all over, man. Because of what? They transgressed against the Lord, man. They transgressed greatly against the Lord. So the Lord punished them severely, man. So he scattered them all abroad, man. Deuteronomy 28 and 64, man. Talk about they'll be scattered to all four corners of the earth, worshiping other gods, even wood and stone. I'll get it. 28:64. That's why the nation of Israel are under the condition they are in. Conditions of hell, man. And they don't realize that they're in a certain condition, man, because they've been blinded from who they really are, man. In these captivity, they knew little by little who they were. But this captivity, it was the worst because it's pretty much all the knowledge and sense has been beaten out of them to realize who they are. They've been blinded, man. And that's part of that separation relating to discontinue from my heritage on Jeremiah 17 and 4, man. That they would forget relating to who they are as a people, man. That's part of the punishment, man. But Baruch talk about that during their captivity, they begin to remember themselves. So them dry bones will be revitalized through the Spirit and begin to remember little by little, man, according to the scriptures, man. And they remember and they begin to do certain things accordingly, man. Deuteronomy 28 and 64. And the Lord Yahweh hath scattered thee among all people. So they're going to be scattered among all people, man. All different of the heathen nations, man. The Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth and to the other. Pretty much one end of diaspora to the other end of the diaspora. And there shall thou serve other gods. So they're going to serve other gods, other forms of religious denominations, different gods, different doctrines, different things. That's part of it as well. Which neither nor their fathers have known. They have not known these things. They never came across these customs before. Even wood and stone, idolatry. So they're gonna be mixed up in all kinds of things, man. That's part of the punishment. Go to Mark 7:6 and Mark 7:6 through 9. And since they be scattered among those other nations, they procreated with those other nations. From those other nations of women, they're gonna have offsprings, and those offsprings, some gonna look like the other nations, but their seed line, their pedigree, their lineage goes back to being an Israelite because of Numbers 1 and 18. It goes according to their fathers, man. So you're going to have a diversity in looks regarding of Israel, man, because they've been scattered among all people, man. So they're going to have different looks, different flavors, man. Very diverse. Go to Mark. That's important to always keep that in mind, because a lot of people, that's a stumbling block for them to get that, man. For his ways are being played to the holy, but a stumbling block to the wicked. So those little things like that are a stumbling block for a lot of people to grasp, man. But it's really simplified. It's simplified through the scriptures, because the scriptures speak it clearly. For example of that, Deuteronomy 28 and 64. but they are a stumbling block, you know, for some people to get it, even if it's made clear and plain. Go to Mark. Go to Mark. Mark 7:6-9. Mark 7:6-9. I'll read it. Talk about the Pharisees, the hypocrisy of the Pharisees. And he answered and said unto them, well have Esaias prophesied of you hypocrites, as it is written, the people honor me with their lips, but in their heart is far from me. So they speak good things, man. They speak what you want to hear, but in their heart is contrary. You know, it's just lip service, man. How about it? In vain do they worship me, teaching doctrines, the commandments of men, instead of the commandments of Yahweh Shem Yashab, man. For laying aside the commandments of Yahweh, ye hold to traditions of men, and as washing of the pots and cups, and many other such like things ye do. And he said unto them, full well ye reject the commandments of Yahweh, that ye may keep your own traditions. And that's the point. They keep their own traditions. They've been accustomed to their own traditions, man. They rejected the commandments, man. The prophets always condemned the nation of Israel constantly, man. The relationship between the prophets and the nation of Israel is very hostile, man. So the prophets had to be rough in their tone, their delivery, even in their language, because they were dealing with a rebellious, stiff-necked, gainsaying people, man. So they couldn't say, can you please come back and worship the Lord? No, they had to be aggressively in their tone, man, because they were dealing with a nation of people, man. The scripture talks about rude in speech but not in knowledge, man. Also, they had to be rough in manner regarding as far as pretty much condemning them, man. Condemnation of them, pretty much condemning something or someone, you know, for certain things. They were condemning the nation of Israel constantly because they weren't listening. They were hard-headed. So the prophets had to be aggressive with their tone, man, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yashab, man. Let me get that one first. The one I just quoted. First Corinthians, I believe it's 11:6. But though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge. So the speech may be rough, but when it comes to spirit, the knowledge regarding Yahweh Shem Yashah, it's on point. But we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things. All things are scriptures. Things are the scriptures. Go to Colossians 2:8. It's a short one. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit. Pretty much these other philosophies, these doctrines, these ideologies, man. Because many are going to be taken by them, man. They're going to have itching ears, man. The impressionable are going to be easily influenced and easily deceived by these other forms of doctrine, man. Unless they have some form of the Lord's dealing with them as far as discerning the difference and differentiating the difference between of that sound doctrine or unsound doctrine. And that sound doctrine goes to stable, being stable. I'll read that again. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceits, after the tradition of men, after rudiments of the world and not after Yahushua, Hamashiach. So it's all about the philosophies of the world, man. And many were taken by wayward doctrines, man. That's part of prophecy anyway. The division. Think not that I come to send peace, but I say nay, but division. So there's going to be division regarding the doctrine. Because if everybody agreed on the doctrine, it would be a lot easier regarding the truth and regarding the ministry, man. So that division is a part of prophecy, and the division regarding the doctrine, is part of that. It's part of that, man. So you go, and that leaves. That gives that puts that division, that dividing line between ones who believe in the truth and don't, man. Or false prophets, false prophets, false teachers, the real prophets. You know what I mean? So that gives that division, man. That gives that separation. So this is something short, and this basically don't follow the customs after the heathen, you know, because the customs of the heathen are vain, man. In the eyes of the Al-Bashim Yashah, they are vain, man. And we coming into the holiday periods, you know, because the Lord's people have their own customs. They have their own separate traditions, man. The heathen has theirs. The Lord gave the heathen theirs. The Lord gave His people theirs, man. That's why He separated His people to be to Himself, because that's His people, and He gave the rest of the nations whatever He gave the rest of the nations too, man. And that being said, this is something short. Hope it helps whoever listens. This is Brother Zayab, which means wolf. I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakadash. The water for listen, whoever listens, Shalom.